Well, hello there. It's been a while since I have done a deck, and I know I changed the Star Wars channel, but I'm really excited about this one. This is all about making speed with affordable cards, and so I am on Moxfield, and my leader is Crankle Mob Boss. I am doing goblins. Crankle Mob Boss, you tap it. Everybody knows what it is at this point, but I'm still going to read it. You pay 4. And it's a 3/3 creature. This is your commander. And you tap it to create X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control. I'm still a little stuffed up, but that's okay. Got 3 planeswalkers. Chandra Bold Pyromancer. Add 2 red. That's the main one I want. It also will deal 2 damage to target player. The -3. Deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. The idea is to keep smaller creatures off the board. That's going to really impact the game, like Kennen or another Cranko player, or just captivating vampire. Just basically we're trying to really just affect what's there. And then the final one, which I don't really care about, is a -7. Deal 10 damage to target player and each creature and planeswalker they control. It's good. I'm looking at still using that one if I would have to, but the first 2 are the main ones I want, especially the mana. Doing 2 damage and mana at the same time is just wonderful. One of my favorite Chandras of all time is probably this one. Just every time you get rid of a loyalty counter, it's a damage somewhere. So whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra Fire Artisan, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Her +1 exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. That gives you a free card to play, basically. You still have to pay for it, but it's a free card, essentially. It's not in your hand, in other words. And then -7 exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn, and that will be 7 damage to whoever I would target. Chandra Torch of Defiance. Again, her main thing I want to use is her second ability, adding 2 mana. But just having that spot removal gets rid of a lot of things. You get rid of Edgar Markov. You can get rid of just so many commanders. The first +1 exile top card of the library, you may cast that card. If you don't, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. If you have plenty of mana out already, then you might want to use that one or the -3 instead. And her -3 deals 4 damage target creature, always effective. That would be good against the Markov before he goes to attack. Now, granted, it would be not doable because that would be on your turn, but it's just a point. If they would play the Edgar Markov and they don't attack with it, then that is 4 damage going to him. And maybe you can follow it up with something else. I mean, there's a lot of different uses you can use for it. And then -7, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell. Any spell. Deal 5 damage to any target. You can almost take somebody out. If you're throwing out a bunch of small stuff, this deck is a lot of this small stuff, then you have a lot of things you can do. Now to really excel on the creatures, now there's a lot of things I'm trying to do. The main thing is to pump up my creatures, but here we go. The non-goblin creatures are going to start off here. And there's going to be a couple others that's in there, but these are the main ones, and I keep sliding the camera. First one, Crashing Drawbridge. Basically, it's in there because I want to give creatures I control haste till end of turn, mainly Cranko. 2-drop. Most of these creatures are going to be cheap, so they're easy to come by. Dwarven Driller. I can tap him. As long as he stays in play, I can tap him and destroy target land unless his controller has a Dwarven Driller deal 2 damage to him or her instead. There's a little bit of land destruction here. It's mainly to go after something that's really aggro. It's going to slow them down. That's what we're looking at. Dwarven Miner. Pay 3 and tap it. Destroy target non-basic land. Frenzied Goblin. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay a red. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. That's what we want it for, is for target creature not to block. If I'm going to finish off a game, there's several cards that's going to let me do this. He's one of them. Whenever he attacks, you pay red. Creature can't block. Goblin Arsonist. When it dies, you have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Whatever's a threat, small threat, maybe you can add something to it, who knows. Goblin Balloon Brigade, it gets flying. Goblin Banneret has Mentor, so whenever this attacks, it adds a 1/1 counter to another target attacking creature that has less power. You pay the colorless and the red to give it a +2/+0 to end the turn, and it will be a 3/1. Now, there is other things that's really going to pump these guys up, but we're not there yet. Goblin Batter Jester. Whenever you cast a red spell, target creature can't block this turn, so if you're playing one-on-one or you're playing a group and they have big creatures, guess what? We're playing a lot of cheap creatures. Now, there's a few, like this one's a 4-drop, but a lot of our creatures are 1 and 2 drops. So we play 3 or 4 red drops, swinging with everything on those turns. Goblin Bushwhacker. It has Kicker. Don't really care. I mean, I kind of do, but don't. When he enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, creatures I control get +1/+0 and haste till end of turn. Again, if you noticed, haste is the main thing I'm going for. If I can throw things in there with haste, that's where it comes in. Goblin Chain Whirler, first strike. When it enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature then planeswalker they control. They have a bunch of 1/1 creatures out there. Boom, I'm doing a lot of damage right there. Let's move this way down. Goblin Chirurgeon. It's 1-drop. Sacrifice a goblin to regenerate a target creature. Regeneration is going to be good. Goblin Diplomats. Each creature attacks this turn available. So they have a board of small creatures or even a couple big creatures. I will trigger this on their turn. And the idea is to make them attack. And with all the pump spells I have in this, I should be able to take some things out. Or they won't swing at me and go after somebody else. Goblin Flyer Slinger. That is there to do a damage to target player. Goblin Gang Leader. When it enters, I create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. If you haven't noticed, the tokens are the goal. Goblin Gardener is put into graveyard from play, destroy target land. Goblin General. When it attacks, it's a lord. Goblin King is a lord in Mountain Walk, so if somebody has a mountain out, that's automatically everything goes in for free, and I can pretty much have a 1-shot kill. That's the idea, and fast. Goblin Lackey. When he deals damage to a player, I may put a goblin permanent card from my hand onto the battlefield. Free goblin. Goblin Lookout. Sacrifice a goblin. All goblins get +2/+2 till end of turn. Again, the idea is to ramp the power of these guys. I don't care if they have a lot on the field or a few things on the field. My goal is to pump up my guys so I take stuff out. Goblin Matron enters the battlefield and may search my library for a goblin card, reveal it, and put it into my hand. Motivator. A target creature gains haste on the turn. Goblin Recruiter. When enters the battlefield, search my library for a number of goblin cards, reveal them, and shuffle and put those cards on top in any order. Looking for Skirt Prospector, and you'll see why. Goblin Ringleader has haste, and when Goblin Ringleader enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards in my library, put all goblin cards revealed this way into my hand, the rest on the bottom of my library in any order. Again, I'm kind of stuffed up, but I'm so excited about this deck. Goblin Rune Blaster, when he enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, destroy target non-basic land. Goblin Settler, when it enters the battlefield, destroy target land. You're going to really see some nice synergy coming up here pretty soon. So that was the Settler. Now, a couple of those guys, this one especially, when he enters the battlefield, destroy target land, we're going to have a combo that's going to come back, and we're going to show that one, and you're going to see it. And I don't like to pay 4 in a Goblin deck for this guy because he's a 1/1, but think about all the stuff I can do. Sharpshooter. He does not untap during our untap step. He's a Goblin. And whenever a creature dies, untap him. I can tap him to deal 1 damage target creature or player. So if I know a bunch of creatures are going to die, I can pretty much get a bunch of taps and untaps out of him. Now, I know they all trigger at once, but still. There's a lot of sacrifice in this, too. Goblin Trashmaster, a Lord. And again, that's what I was talking about with the sacrifice. I can sacrifice a Goblin to destroy target artifact. War Chief gives all my goblins a one cheaper and haste. Goblin War Diver, Battle Cry. Hellraiser Goblin. Creatures I control have haste and attack each combat if able. He will keep everybody with haste. Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. Other goblins I control get +1/+1, so he's a lord. And I can pay a red, and he deals damage to a number of goblins that enter the battlefield under my control this turn to any target. A lot of utility with this guy. Here's the combo piece I was talking about. Kiki Jiki. Put a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature I control onto the battlefield. That token has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. There's the sacrifice triggers. Now, 2 cards later is going to be another combo. Now, there's a lot of cards I can use that ability with, so keep that in mind. It's not like it's stuck to just one card. But it has to be non-legendary. Kranko 10-Street Kingpin. Every time he attacks, he gets a 1/1 counter. And then he gets a 1/1 red goblin creature token equal to Kranko's power. Another Scarecrow, not a goblin, but he is a combo piece with Kiki Jiki. So I'm going to have him in play. I'm going to pay 2, untap him to add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. So that's 1 mana. Then I'm going to tap Kiki Jiki to make a copy of any creature on the pole stack. Probably make another one of him. Pay another 2 to untap him to give me another mana. I mean, there's just a lot I can do with this. There's a lot of other combo pieces you can use it with, but that's 2 really big ones right there. It's not infinite, but it is there. Here's Seer Slicer Goblin. So at the beginning of my end step, if I attack this turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Skirk Prospector. This is the big one. Sacrifice a goblin, add a red. So here's the combo. I do Kiki Jiki, making a combo, or making a copy of Skirk Prospector. Or the Hellraiser Goblin. Doesn't really, or not them. There it is. Do Kiki Jiki to make Goblin Settler. So I have to tap Kiki Jiki. I'm going to use Pali Pala to pay 2 and untap him. I got to remember how it works. But basically, I use these 2 back and forth. I forget how it works, but basically I'm making a combo of him. I'm paying 2 and untapping him. Anyway, I'm doing Skirk Prospector. I don't remember. I have to go back and look and see how that combo works. But basically I'm making infinite tokens or infinite something or other. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But Squee, beginning my upkeep, I may return Squee from my graveyard to my hand. Swarming Goblins gives me extra when on attack. Excuse me. This one gives me more goblins on attack. Thick-skinned Goblin. I may pay nothing rather than pay the echo cost for permanents I control. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I saw them and I like them. Thick-skinned Goblin gains protection from red until end of turn. That does a lot of stuff. Wandering Goblin, pay 3. And he gets +1/+0 to end of turn for each basic land type among lands I control. He's only a 3, but he is huge. And then we go to the last one, which is Wily Goblin. When he enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. I don't know. Either way. Our lands, we'll start with the lands next. Maze of Ith. If they're attacking with a really big creature that's going to do a lot of stuff, I untap it and remove it from combat. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. That is moving. Playing 30 Mountains. Nycthros Shrine to Nyx. I can make a lot of mana with that. Valakut. My only tapped land I have in the whole game. And the idea is, because I'm throwing 30 mountains out, every time I throw a mountain, that's going to do 3 damage to target creature or player. Or planeswalker. That was not errated when it was made. My enchantments, and I could Justice Goblin Assault. At the beginning of my upkeep, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token, and Goblin creatures I attack each turn of Fable. They're all going to have haste, so that won't take much. But you see, Goblin Bombardment, sacrifice a creature. This enchantment deals 1 damage to any target. I have a bunch of creatures out there I can just kill in one shot. Goblin Caves. Target land is a basic mountain. All goblins gain +0/+2, so I make them automatically a 3 defense. When that comes into play, attached to a land. Goblin Oriflame. Attacking creatures I control get +1/+0. Quest for the Goblin Lord. Whenever a goblin enters the battlefield under my control, put a quest counter on it. As long as I have 5 or more counters on it, all my creatures get +2/+0. Then the last one is Shadow the Goblin. At the beginning of my first main phase, discard a card. If I do, draw a card. Whenever I play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than my hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. For my lands, I'm trying not to go too crazy. I got a little bit of craziness in it, but not too bad. Or for my artifacts, I have Thought Vessel, no maximum hand size. Probably won't be an issue, but it's a colorless. Swiftfoot Boots gives haste and hexproof, and it's cheap. Soul Ring, no introduction there. 1 mana to play it, and then you get 2 when you tap it. Rubin Medallion makes all my red spells cheaper. Pillar of Origins, I'm going to choose obviously goblins. It'll give me a red for. It'll let me tap it for a red. Mox Amber. If I got 3 or more artifacts, then this will give me a color of my choice. My commander, which is red. Playing a lot of legendary, a lot of artifacts really. Playing about 15 artifacts. That's not too bad. Mana Vault. You pay 1, it gives you 3. You have to pay 4 to untap it, otherwise you take a damage. Lava Spur Boats. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, has haste and ward 1. Fleet Feather Sandals. Equipped creature has flying and haste. Splendid Lands. Now this one, I saw this and I wasn't thrilled, but then as I read it, it really makes sense for this deck. Exoplanar Lens is 3. I'm going to exile a card with it. And then exile a land from it, which will be a mountain. And then whenever a land with the same name as the imprinted card, which is mountain, is tapped for mana, its control adds 1 mana to his or her mana pool of any type that land produced. So in a sad sense, with this thing down, I will exile a mountain, but get 2 tapped mana for each mountain I tap, which I'm playing 30 mountains. Cloud Key. Spells I cast of chosen type, which would be creatures, are going to be 1 less to cast. Cloak of the Bat. Equipped creature has flying and haste. Equip 2. So, and then our last 3 cards. An instant, Chandra's Fury, deals 4 damage to target player and 1 damage to each creature that player controls. So if you have tokens, that'll take them all out. Goblin War Strike, it deals damage equal to the number of goblins I control to target player. And finally, the Goblin Negotiation, deals X damage to target creature. It's X and 2 red. And then I create a number 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this turn. This is the deck I'm really excited about. I haven't tried it yet, but I am really super excited about it. So tell me what you guys think and any suggestions you might have, and let me know. And I will see you on the next time.